Hey, my scrappy friends, this is Hannah with you today, and I am doing another face-to-face recap video for week number 2. I am currently in it's week number 3 as I'm filming this, but week number 1 was really like half a week, so I don't know. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to do another update just to give you guys a little bit more content and just some funness. Plus, I mean, who doesn't like a good face-to-face? And there have been some things going around in the community that I thought it might be kind of interesting to talk about and stuff. So how is it going, Hannah? How is it going? Posting every day. So if you guys are new here, for the whole month of July, I am tagging up with Crafty Maggie, who is my bestie, or one of my besties, I should say. I have quite a few. So we thought it would be fun to challenge each other to post every day. So I've been posting every day. I've had a video or 2 every day this month so far. And as of right now, it is the 16th. So it is halfway through the month already, which is so crazy to me. And I actually feel like it's been going pretty well. So last week on my channel, I was posting Christmas in July. So I worked on a lot of December daily. I had like the first half of the week all situated, but I had a few days where I had to actually do stuff during the week to have everything planned out. I wish I had thought about that ahead of time, because I think it would have been better to work like if I had had that stuff done the week before, but I had a dilemma because my printer was going bad. The last time I printed off pictures for my project life, I really started noticing it even more so than I had noticed before. So I had an HP's PhotoSmart printer, and I got that back when I first started scrapbooking. I knew nothing about getting printers for home. I just knew that I wanted to be able to print from home. And for the most part, that printer worked fairly well. It had a special slot, so it was an all-in-one printer, but it has special slots for photos. And so I could do 4x6 or 5x7, and then in the bigger area, you could do, 8x10 or whatever, or a little bit larger than that. And so it made it nice because I had the option to do different sizes, which I do like to do, especially with doing projects like December Daily. I can print 6x8 really easily. The thing that I was noticing, and I noticed this over time, that the rollers, even though I would clean it, like the heads really needed to be cleaned better than I think just the automatic cleaner and alignment and stuff that you do with those printers. And granted, I bought that when we were in Hawaii, and so it was just going, but it was getting to the point where I would have to unplug it to get it to connect and turn on properly. And then the color started going. And so at first I tried not to get one because I know that I would like a really nice one at some point, but that just was not in the budget. But we did need a printer. We our homeschool family, and actually my homeschool room is just right out the door. I say homeschool room. It's kind of an all-purpose room. At some point, maybe I'll take pictures and share with you guys what it looks like. But it looks a lot different this year because we just got new shelving. We got a big Kalex shelf for it to hold more books and stuff because, after how many, 7, 8 years of homeschooling? I can't believe it. I think we've been homeschooling for 8 years now. It has to be. This will be our 8th year homeschooling because my daughter is in 7th grade. Yeah. So it's just crazy to me. It doesn't feel like we've been homeschooling this long. But after 8 year, going into our 8th year of homeschooling, you accrue a lot of books, a lot of resources and stuff. And even though I try to kind of update it a little bit and get rid of stuff that we really don't need, there is a lot. Since my youngest he's going to be in 4th grade, there's still a lot of stuff that I was needing for him that the girls used a lot earlier on in their schooling years. So there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't get rid of. And we've went through lots of different homeschooling curriculum and resources and stuff like that. But I still needed a place to put it. And plus, I like to have a space for them because even though they have desks, it's just a 1-drawer desk. And so they need more space. And really, it helps them learn, like, you have a little bit of space. You have to keep it clean. You have to keep it organized, right? Because if they were in regular school, they'd have a locker or something, especially my oldest now going into 7th grade. But I still can't believe it. Anyway, so that room has changed a lot this past year or so, just rearranging it. And now my husband's going to be moving he does Legos, and so he's going to have a Lego station that's nice down there. But it needs to be a space that I can use too because with homeschooling. So, and we've already had Legos down in there because my kids really love Legos. They love building, it's a good thing. Good thing to have, right? It's tactile. It keeps your mind going. But anyway, that has nothing to do with scrapbooking. Apparently, I just need to talk today. But yeah, so I was trying to hold off getting a new printer, but we use it so much for homeschooling too and other stuff. So my husband and I kind of talked about what can we afford and looking through, and we really just can't afford a really nice Canon right now, which is what I would like. But we were able to find another HP printer that allows you to do photos in different sizes. It's a little bit different than the one that we have, but I think we're just gonna, for now it's good. And so now I can do more December daily because I decided, crazy Hannah, that I was gonna post more December daily on Mondays. So all to say that I didn't post one this Monday just because I did a lot of December daily at the middle to end of last week too. Like throughout the week, I did a lot of December daily, but I hadn't planned enough ahead. And so I think that's one thing that I'm realizing is as much as I planned ahead and I had a lot of videos, I'm not creating at the amount. So basically, I'm guessing for every day that I post, I needed to make a layout, and that just was not happening. Because last week I noticed that I was getting a lot of headaches, and I think it's just because one thing that I didn't account for was all the time that I'd be spending on my computer doing editing and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't been doing that as much this past year. And so even though I have a nicer computer and it's a bigger screen, and I think it's just the blue lights. So kind of having to have a balance. And also I need to spend time with my family too. I mean, who knew? You need to spend time with your family too, because it's summer. But so it's been interesting this past week. It's kind of like realizing that I need to have a balance and what is that balance going to look like after, but really excited and hoping to do some other things. So yeah, so I'm not as prepared for next week as I would like to be, but that's okay because maybe we'll just do more of this thing. I can roll with it. In 2 weeks, Megan comes, so that'll be really exciting and interesting. But my plan is for next week to do a live scrap session. I'm trying to figure out what time. So, because I want to do it on a day or a time that is going to be good for you guys. So if you guys watch this and you are really interested in that, let me know in the comment section below, like what times are good for you. I've tried to look in my analytics to see like when people actually watch my videos, but for whatever reason this week, it's not letting me see that stuff. So I don't know if I'm just not looking in the right place or whatever. It's not letting me see that this week, which is kind of annoying because I was going to use that to figure out when I was going to go live. But so I don't know. I'm thinking probably closer towards the end of the week that'll be a thing. I know I had talked about doing a Q&A type of thing. So if you guys have questions, maybe when I do that live, I'll just answer some questions and stuff. So it'll be a dual thing. So you just don't have to see my face. I mean, I might start off with I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know if I'll start off with just my face or how we'll do it, because that'll be kind of weird. So anyway, we'll figure it all out. I'll figure it all out. So. But so that'll probably be towards the end of next week. I feel like weekends are probably a better day. Maybe I'll do it on like a Sunday afternoon or something. So, but yeah, so I'm excited about that because that'll be really fun. I think it'll be fun to have something a little bit more connected. I wish I would have thought about it more towards the beginning, even though I knew that that was something I wanted to do. I didn't plan it, and I kind of wish I did. So then I could have had to, but I figure when Megan gets here, we'll do some live stuff too, most likely, or we'll do something live. I mean, of course, that's like right at the end of the month. So, you know, it's kind of hard to plan it because we don't really know how things are. So hopefully COVID numbers stay low enough around here in my area. They're kind of like they're a little bit higher, but they're around the same level as what they've been this whole time. So my area hasn't really changed, but it just means that we'll be not really going out. So, which is fine because there's all scrapbooking stuff. But let's just hope because it's not really here that we're worried about. It's like the airplane stuff. So yeah. But we I think at this point we're stuck unless things get really bad. So it's like we thought we would be okay because it's, but we thought we were going to be okay, but people aren't staying. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But we thought we would be okay when we were like, oh, it shouldn't be that bad before school starts, before the uptick. And yeah, what are you going to do? Right? So let's hope that works out because there could very well. There's been a lot of changes and things lately. I know the county that I'm in, we're still in phase 2. So we have like a 4-phase thing going on and we're still in phase 2. Like we're probably going to be in phase 2 forever. So, which basically means that I think you can eat at restaurants at like 25%, so they're only it's less than 50% of capacity inside, but also, what else? Like you can get your hair cut, which is something I actually did do. I didn't think I was going to do that like at the beginning when everybody was like, oh, haircuts. And I was like, I don't really care, but I think it was all the stress. It just made my hair really bad. But we have to wear masks inside and stuff. So, and there's really nothing you can do inside that has any amount of people. So, except for shopping, which, anyway, in case you really wanted to know what COVID is in my area, but the city that I live in only has like less than 150 cases. So, I guess that's pretty good. I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so one thing I kind of wanted to touch on just for a minute. And so I'm going to preface this with please be kind in the comments. I think that there's a lot of stuff going on in our world and we need, we shouldn't deny it and we shouldn't like try to hide from it, but we can also, kindness and love goes like a whole long way. So I thought really quick that maybe I'd touch on, there's some stuff going on with the lady from the stamping lady. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what her company is. Ink Roads. I think that's what it is. But anyway, so stamps. So there's a lady who has a bigger stamp company. I say bigger, a little bit bigger than some of the big companies. But she said some things about some interactions that were happening in Tim Holtz's group. And I thought I'd bring this up because as someone who is very lucky, I've been very lucky with the places that I've lived and the people that I've interacted with, having a very sense of community with lots of different people. And I've lived different places where I've gotten to meet a lot of different people. And but there's something about being white, I guess, that there's no way I will ever understand completely what it's like to not feel that acceptance. And but my goal in life is to hear other people out, no matter who they are. So I don't really care what you believe in and who you are, what your family background is. Like, in my own life, I feel that it is always a good thing to listen to other people and get to know them, because their story matters, just like my story matters. But their story matters when I'm connecting with someone else. And sometimes that is me taking things that have happened in my life and relating it to other people. But I feel like in this kind of situation, it loses and distracts. So I'm trying to take this time where our world is like super crazy and very polarized to just really listen and say, how can I connect with people that I may have not connected with before? And how can I learn and change and be a good example of what people can do and who people are, right? So like, how can I help in this? And there's a lot of times I have no idea, except for all I know is who I am, and I care about other people, and I care about other people's stories, and I care about listening, and I think that's a start. And so when I hear a situation like this, I really want, like, I'm the kind of person, I want to hear both sides so I can understand both sides. And I just don't feel like we're getting all of the story. And so I just want to put this out there, that even though we don't have all of the story, there's things that I feel like we can take away from this and say, you know, we need to have these conversations in our community, because you know what? Like, it is a very one-sided view. There has been a one-side view, from the big companies. We get this view of what things should look like, and people who don't fit in those boxes don't get picked. And I've seen this. I've tried out for American Crest and other companies, and I know how hard it is for someone like me who probably fits in those boxes more than other people. I can only imagine how hard that is to work your butt off and be great and be amazing, and you're never going to fit into that box. And that's a problem. In our community, that is a problem, because all families should be represented, because there are so many different kinds of families. And whether you paper craft, scrapbook, or there's so many times I see things and I see someone and I'm like, that person's a scrapbooker, and they never play with paper at all. But it's about telling the stories of our lives, right? And we each have a perspective that is unique, because only you can tell your story, and you're the only one who has that story. There can be other people that have similar stories, but only you can tell that story. But you have to be able to tell it, and people have to be able to listen, right? And that is a hard thing. It is a hard thing sometimes to take the time to shut up. And I'm learning this. And I would never realize that I didn't listen as well as I thought I did, because I feel like I try to do that my whole life. I've tried to do that. But I realize the older I get, the really how bad I am at really listening. And so I feel like this is a time where we need to like listen and take the time to say, how can we make this work for everyone? Because it is a tough thing to have all these different types of families and all these types of people and blend it into products. But just because it's hard doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, right? I think the hardest things are the most worthwhile things. They really are, right? If it's easy, I feel like there's something wrong. So, nah, that's not true. But many times the best things in life are the hardest, right? It's the hardest. So I feel like we can't use this excuse of, oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, it's like, no, everybody needs to have a place to tell their story, and their voice needs to be validated. It's valid, and it's, it needs to be accepted. It's like it may not be your story, your voice, but that doesn't mean it's not someone else's. So I feel like this is a real learning experience, and I think it's something that needs to happen in our industry and our community. And I feel like there's a lot of people who do this already. But I think we could still do it better. And I guess that's all I really want to say. I don't even know if at this point it matters whether the accusations are true, or the reasons why they were done, but people are not getting the chance to tell their stories in a place where we tell stories about our lives. And that's a problem. It really is, because your story is not my story and my story isn't your story, but we each need to be able to tell it, and we each need to be able to listen to it. And we need to have a safe place that we can do that. And how do we create this safe place? And these are questions that we need to ask, that need to be asked, and then we need to do something about it. And I don't know what that thing that we need to do, but just saying that it needs to be done is a step. And I know I haven't, it's hard for me, because I feel like I am never truly going to understand how someone else who hasn't been able to tell their story, how they can tell their story authentically, when I feel like I've been able to tell my story. But that doesn't mean that I can't try to understand and help them tell their story, because I feel like their story is just as important as my story, if not more. It's how, and this is such a personal community, because we do tell each other, we do tell these stories, and they need to be told. They need to be told, like they do. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I think it's brought up a lot of things that we need to talk about in our community, and we need to make it better. And maybe you're doing the right things. And that's awesome, right? But maybe we can be doing more, right? So that's all I got to say about that. But I also think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for our community to grow and learn. I mean, this is what life is about, is learning and growing and realizing that you can be better than even whatever you thought however you thought you were in life. You can always be better. And you can always change. There's always that possibility to change. And I think a lot of change does need to happen, It starts with empathy, and it starts with listening. Truly listening. And that's what I hope I can do. So I just want to thank you guys for, coming along this 30-day challenge. I have some ideas for things that I want to do after this. So I know that this past year, basically, I've been working sort of on a class. And that is something that I'm still kind of well, I haven't been working on it this past month, but it's something that's in my head to finish. But I have some ideas on kind of how I want to finish it so that it's ready for you guys. It's just, there's been a lot going on in my life this past couple of years, but in which I'm not going to talk about right now, but maybe that'll be a whole nother video. But because of all this stuff, it's just like not really sure like how I want my class to be and look. And so therefore I haven't like finished it. And which is, so I appreciate everybody just kind of like chilling and not bugging me about it, because that just makes me feel really bad when I know that like people are looking for something awesome and I'm just not doing it. But it is gonna be there eventually, like it started. So, but I do have some ideas for some things that I think, some directions that I think that I'm wanting to take that and take what I'm doing, but I'm also very much enjoying just having this freedom to just like re-love my craft and re-love being in my room. I think after a lot of the work that I've done just personally in my own life, I feel like I'm in a place where I can actually do that and do the things that I love and share the things that I love, because I think I was in a place that I couldn't do that. And so, but now I am, and now I'm ready, but I also don't want to burn out again. So, and that, like I said, is for a whole other video. And I've already been talking like 26 minutes. So I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a great week. If you have any questions below, definitely put them in. Let's have some conversations. But like I said, let's be kind and listen, as well as, being empathetic to other people as we talk about these hard things and talk about the fun things, right? So I will see you guys later. Have a great week.